Hello, this tutorial is going to be a brief overview of the toolbars available in the Easy Interactive Tools program. To get started, you'll need to open the Easy Interactive Tools program. I have already done this, and you can see at the top of my screen that I have the command toolbar, and over here to the right I have my Easy Interactive Tools. For the sake of this tutorial, I'm just going to go ahead and drag my toolbar over here so it's easier for you to see. You can drag your toolbar anywhere using the textured panels at the top and bottom. The command toolbar can also be moved by touching anywhere in the gray space. This allows you to easily move the toolbars out of your way when you're viewing something that might take up the whole screen, or you need to access tools that may be hidden by the toolbars. Let's go over the Easy Interactive Tools first. You can see at the top I've currently selected the mouse. This means that I can easily click on things on my computer screen. You'll also notice here on the command toolbar that I am in what's considered annotation mode, or this means that I am writing on top of my computer desktop. I can open things like images and close them. I can also do things like open the internet, access files, and manipulate just about anything using my finger or the pen on the whiteboard. We will talk about the whiteboard mode a little bit later. You can see you have an undo and a redo button. There's a shapes tool that allows you to determine the thickness of the outline of a shape as well as how you would like it to appear, whether you would like it to be empty or filled in. And you also have all of these colors to choose from. There is a text function that allows you to add text. You simply drag and it creates a box for you, and in most cases your computer will pop up with an on-screen keyboard that you can use to type with. When you're done, you can click anywhere outside the space, and while it's hard to see, I'm going to select my mouse so that I can easily move the words. I'm going to use the select tool. I frequently jump between the two, but here you can see that my text is still here, and I can resize the text box to better fit the words so it's not taking up so much space. I also can move the words anywhere on the page that I would like. You can turn them around, hide them, whatever you'd like. To delete the words, you click on this arrow, and you'll notice that you have several options, but the very last one is delete, and that will make the words go away. I briefly talked about the select tool. It allows you to select things similar to how you would when you're working on your PC and you need to select multiple items. The mouse lets you click on things and acts like a mouse, but the select tool is what you use to manipulate objects when you're in the Easy Interactive Tools program. Right here you'll see that we have a pen. If I write with this pen now, you can see that it's green and it will draw a thin green line. However, if I choose the drop-down arrow next to the pen, I can make the line much thicker and I can choose a new color for the line. The outside image doesn't change, but the inside settings are reflective of whatever change you make. Set it back to my green line. Below this, you'll find a highlighter pen. What you'll notice about the highlighter is if you select it and you go over some words, you can always see the words and the text underneath. If I were to go back and use my pen in any color, you'll see that it actually covers up the words. You cannot see what's underneath. So that's the difference between the highlighter and a pen. And just like the pen, the highlighter has a drop-down menu next to it where you can adjust the size of the highlighter as well as the color. This way you can use multiple colors to indicate different meaning, as well as adjust the size of the highlighter to reflect the size of the text on the page. This way you're not highlighting 3 lines at one time because your highlighter is so thick and the text might only be this thick. Okay, click out. My screen is getting a little busy and I don't want it to distract, so I'm going to use this button at the bottom that says Clear Screen. It always asks me if you want to clear the screen, and I'm going to click OK. Now these last 3 pens are defaults and we cannot change the colors, but if you click to the left, you'll see that a small black dot means I'm going to get a small black line. If I click the big black dot, I'm going to get a thicker black line. Same goes for red and blue. It also goes for our eraser. The small eraser is smaller and the larger eraser is quite big and can erase both lines at the same time. This final button closes your tools and takes them off the screen. We can easily bring them back by clicking on the arrow to the right-hand side of the page. If you'd like the tools to stay present at all times, you can bend the pin that helps the tools stay put in their locations. So when you draw, they are always present. Let's look up here at the command toolbar. The home button will bring back the splash screen that opens when you open Easy Interactive Tools for the very first time. The save button allows you to save the annotations on the screen. The save button is much more handy in the whiteboard mode when it saves the background and what you've written. If I were to press the save button right now, it would only save this little line. It would not save the background behind it. So we won't really use that tool here. You also have page up and page down, which again are mainly only useful in the whiteboard mode, which we'll be getting to in a moment. You do have some tools here, like zooming or enlarging the area of the screen. I really like this spotlight tool. It allows you to have students focus on one area of the screen at a time instead of being overwhelmed by a bunch of images or text. If you touch anywhere in the black area, you can move the spotlight around the screen. If you touch anywhere in the gray area, you can change the size of your spotlight. Up in the right-hand corner is the X that closes it. Additionally, you have the screen shade, and this covers up your screen. Touching in the black area moves the whole box around, whereas touching in the gray area allows you to change the size of the screen shade so that it better fits your needs. This is great for covering up answers and creating a built-in student answer key. You also have a print function, the settings menu, a button to bring up your on-screen keyboard. You can take a picture of the screen, which is addressed in another tutorial. You have a right-click button and a help menu. Finally, there's the whiteboard mode. None of the tools change in the whiteboard mode, but you do get a few new tools. Let me move this out of the way. Up at the top, you can see you can create a new Easy Interactive Tools file. You can open a Easy Interactive Tools file that you have previously created, or you can save this Easy Interactive Tools file that you're working on now. To view all of the pages in your Easy Interactive Tools file, use the Page List button. It will open a side panel similar to PowerPoint that allows you to see all of the slides. To have the page list reappear, simply click the button again. If you'd like the page list to permanently stay on the screen, you can bend the pin so that it does so. I'm going to add some additional pages by clicking the Add Page button. It's an image of a page with a plus sign. Let me leave some swirls on here just so that you can see that this page has writing on it. Okay, you show up over here that page 3 has writing. I'd like to have a second page that's identical to this page. So I will click the, pardon me, not the new page, the copy page button. And now you can see both page 3 and page 4 are identical. This can be helpful when you want students to solve a problem multiple ways. If I wrote 4 plus 2, pardon my handwriting with my mouse, I could now copy this page 3 times and allow 3 different students to come up and illustrate their solution to this problem. Additionally, if I did not want these pages with scribble on them, I can use the delete page button. It will ask me if I am sure I want to delete, and I will say yes. I'm going to delete one more time. Alternatively, if I had the pin straight so my page list goes away, I can use the up and down arrows to scroll through various pages. Over here in the right hand corner, you will see an indicator of what page out of the total number of pages you are on. Right now I'm on page 3 out of 5. I can continue to scroll back and forth. You have a toolbox that again contains the same tools. It does have 2 new tools, you'll notice. This is to select a background. Let me get to a new page so that we can do that. Alright, so I'm going to the toolbox and I'm going to the Select Background button. I can select a white background, black background, a green background, a grid paper background, music staff, regular handwriting paper, or a more intricate grid. I also can choose to take a screenshot of my desktop background and insert that using this desktop button, or select an image from a file that I might have. The document camera button will work only for those of you that have a document camera that is a TT12i. So for most of you, that means that you'll ignore this document camera button. I go ahead and put in handwriting, you'll see it automatically shows up in the background. I can change this background as many times as I would like. Remember, if you're in the grid paper and you'd like to draw a straight line to put in axes, use the straight line function that's available in the Shapes button on your Easy Interactive Tools. This way, when students come up to the board, they will easily be able to see the axis and won't be confused about whether it's something else or not. Additionally, next to the Select a Background is an Insert an Image button, which is addressed in its own tutorial. This allows you to put one small image on the page and manipulate it how you need to for your class activity. The last button is this Paste button, and that is addressed in another tutorial as well that talks about close reading. It will show you how to take a picture of a website and insert your work into the whiteboard mode so that you can better use the Save button. That is our overview of the Easy Interactive Tools. Please check out the other tutorials to learn more about how to use your interactive projector for instructional use.